Yeah.
Okay, so if we're doing contractors, once we reach out to them, once we get them on a call, the first 30 days is completely free. Try it before you buy it. Now, after 30 days, our goal is to show you the following, and then we give them like a one, two, three things to understand. So it's not too much. One, we want to see your traffic overall go up from direct hits to the website, meaning you've become a brand. And two is called referral traffic. That just means we're getting more exposure from other areas, driving more traffic to your website. So that's pillar number one, is seeing overall traffic going up.
Okay.
Number two is we want to see the inquiries go up. Now there's three types of inquiries. Number one is going to be the chat bubble on your on your GMB, which we'll set up so people can reach out to you more conveniently through a text message style. Number two is going to be driving directions, and number three is going to be phone calls, inbound phone calls directly to your phone. So you'll be able to see all of the insights. Now,
Okay.
the way it raises is when we start, if we decide we're going to move forward, is we take a baseline. So we have like, where are we now? Kind of like if you're one of the gym, we want to kind of get the measurements down, your weight, your arms, etc. We'll do the same thing with your GMB. Just take the measurements, and then we want to see them improve over time. Now, because we can do this in 30 days, what happens next? You might be thinking, how do we make money? How do we continue the party? Is we ask that we start. So we're kind of like the cable company. This is how I'm presenting the way I present. We're kind of like a cable company. You sign up for the service, and after 30 days, you pay the bill, right? So all we charge is X dollars per month, and the net outcome should be more clients to your office. And instead of them going to the competitors, which are already ranking, taking in all that traffic already. So you're not paying anytime somebody clicks. You can get unlimited clicks, you can get unlimited calls, unlimited access to the local market that is looking for you. You just become more visible rather than just staying where nobody really searches, right? Nobody's going to go past the first page of Google. And if we're not on page one, it's kind of where dead bodies are hidden, right?
Okay. Got it. So I
Yeah.
need
So
to.
so 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 that's one way of doing it,
Okay.
which is just zero risk. It should be a simpler way to get in the door to get a trial, right? And
Okay.
and the we're charging them at the end of 30 days. And as far as how long is it, you can make it month to month initially. So saying I charge X dollars per month, like whether it's 500, 1,000, whatever it may be, it doesn't really matter the price just yet. We can make that up in a second. But they, after every 30-day cycle, you just build their credit card on file.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and when you start a campaign in this sort of presentation that I just went over, have them do a $1 deposit on your Stripe account
Okay.
so you can set up a subscription after. Saying all we have is a $1 deposit. That's all it is. And then every 30 days, we just bill you the following amount. Now, before your first bill, we're going to have a conversation to go over the measurement, see how much you've improved, and then see
Okay.
how much more we're going to improve by.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Is there any other something like SaaS offers or something that I can offer this as well as foot in the door, something like that, other than SEO?
Oh, yeah, yeah. For a SaaS offer, I'll tag you in one of the videos that I've done already. But our SaaS offer is pretty simple. This is like the way I present it to people is like when I start a conversation with somebody, I'll just ask them saying, "Hey, has there ever been a scenario in your business where you potentially missed a call?"
Okay.
And they'll typically say yes, and I'll just be like, "Hey, that no problem." Like, they're like, "What's the lifetime value of a customer?" So now I'm getting to know like what that missed call cost them if they never reach them or get that opportunity. So if they say a number like kitchen cabinets, what they're probably going to say is somewhere around like $2,500 to $5,000, and that's the retail price. And then of course there's cost and labor and all that stuff, which we don't get
Exactly.
into. But
Exactly.
let's just say they say $5,000 on average. And if they can't come up with the price, just say do your best guesstimate based on what you know. and then just to get a number on the table. Now, then I go back into the missed call, saying like, whenever when you miss those calls, like, have you ever had difficulty being able to like reach them? You play a bunch of phone tag, going back and forth, and then maybe ultimately you do reach them, they either forgot or they went with somebody else. Now, all that energy and effort, what happened is, because we don't have something called missed call text back set up, it loses those opportunities. And it's not just during the office hours that your Google shows or Yelp or whatnot shows. People want what they want. That's just the way it works right now. And they're going to call after hours thinking, hey, maybe it'll forward to a cell phone. Somebody can self-serve. People are working. They may not be able to contact you during your business hours, but what's more convenient to them. So rather than work all our energy and efforts to marketing, we solve what you already have on the plate. So every missed call, we can start a two-way text conversation from your cell phone using a call tracking number. So anytime somebody calls, you'll get an immediate notification, and the prospect will say, hey, this is Sally over at XYZ Cabinets. I just missed your call. Can I call you shortly? Now you got that two-way conversation going. Now, with that being said, when somebody's searching on Google and they make that first dial, if we miss it and don't start communicating with them, what's right underneath that dial? It's our competition, right? Okay. They're going to just call the next one. And if that person doesn't answer, then the next one. So that's one way to start to monetize some of your opportunities that you're already earning, but maybe missing out on. Number two is, I noticed that the reviews, you have fantastic reviews, but if we compare it to the marketplace, people make judgments based off what they see on the internet, right? So if somebody has 40 reviews and it's a 4.8, they're probably going to give that person a shot over somebody who has 11 reviews and a 5.0, just because the quantity makes more sense.
Yeah.
So we have a review campaign already built in. So anytime you get a new client or your old clients, we just trigger an email series of sequences that will nurture reviews. So it'll also increase our ranking on Google as well.
Okay.
So we'll get complete strangers to promote our business for us, to get other strangers to buy from us.
Got it.
And then the third magic tool that we have is something called reactivation. It's database reactivations. The acronym is DBR.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to people who are leads, they've inquired, they've gone through your web form, we can consolidate those all in one place for marketing, where we can send automatic text messages to reactivate them. Because if the sales journey is fill in a form and then 2 months later, 3 months later, immediately, whatever that sales journey looks like, regardless of how short or long it is, we've already earned those opportunities. Why not try to proactively bring them back? Because if the lifetime value of a customer is $5,000, and if we have a database and we can bring 10 more people, now we have like 50 grand in pipeline opportunity, excluding any possible reviews, excluding any possible referrals or upgrades. You see how that works?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, so those are the things that we do over here, and we don't start with any. And the way I present it is like, look, I get it. There's marketing people are here. Sometimes they work, most of the time they don't. And then the person fitting the bill is you. And then you're like, oh, shoot, I spent all this money. I didn't get anything in return. This is how we can guarantee an ROI. And it doesn't break the bank like marketers, because once you have the system set up, then you can start pumping in more traffic, and then it will start making more sense.
Got it. So it's like show what you can before you get invested into yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, that's how I sell it. Like, I'll probably just walking around the local strip mall or going wherever I eat next today. If I eat out, I'll just ask. I won't go to a big chain or anything. I'll just go to a local business. I'm in California or in US, so it's a little bit easier for me to sell this stuff because there's no, like, the price sensitivity is not there. It's easier with the budgets. I mean, if you do it remotely, it's just a cold DM, cold email campaign, and then and if you guys have a call team, call people. I'm a big fan of picking up the phone and calling. Other people aren't, but you can accomplish the same thing regardless of what way you get your leads. It's just a commitment to that way of getting the leads. So if you're going to cold email every single day. It could be one by one, hand selected just through a Google search. You can use a scraper to like somebody on Fiverr, or if you know how to scrape emails, you can scrape them. You can message people through GMB, through Yelp. There's just so many cold outreach techniques that in high volume will get those clients in. Because when I do math, like if I just say there's, like, let's just say like if you were working for a business owner, typically there's 160 hours in a month. Now, if we have 160 hours in a month and we want to get 10 customers and that's it, and we're charging them $300, that's $3,000 recurring. Every 16 hours of work, every 2 days, we have to get one opportunity. Now, in the beginning stages, I get it. It's going to be a little challenge getting the rhythm of the presentation down, the volume up, knowing what to do and how to do it and when to do it. Those are the things that are normal in a business. It's just a little bit of confusion, a little bit of chaos going on. But if we now, once we have our rhythm and our momentum, which typically takes about 30 days or so, where we're just zoned in, we're very, very focused, we're not chasing a shiny object. We're just literally saying, I'm going to do the same thing over and over, kind of like an athlete. Like an athlete, like Michael Jordan, he'll practice his shots 1,000 every day. He'll do his sprints 100 every day, right? So it's like he's picking and hand selecting what's going to serve him and his team and his championships best. And if we have that same line of thinking, it'll work for your business too. We just can't get defocused and derailed or frustrated, because that's part of the process. But once we kind of fight through that in our head, then you can't fucking fail.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because like if we broke down the math, like after 30 days, let's just say you have 16 hours. How many people can we reach out to in 16 total hours if that's all we had to do was make some money? And shit, like with this, I mean, you can, like, the way I present this stuff to people is that I have them fill in like a form, and then they get to see it for themselves. So when they fill in my web form, it'll send them text messages, emails, and phone calls automatically, just as the demonstration. So I've already built this into Go High Level as a test workflow, a demo. Now, the reason I did it that way is because I didn't want to get stuck with, like, the way a lot of other people in the Go High Level community is doing things for free for a period of time, the client not adapting to the technology because it's free, they don't have a care in the world, and they're not going to pay attention. Then they ask me to do work on top of it so I can earn their business in the future, whether it's 30 or 60 days out. I just show it to them, but I also am understanding that you've wasted money on marketing, and that's why marketing sucks. So I've already taken that off the table. 2, I know the lifetime value of your customer. 3, I know you have leads that you're not communicating with, so now you're losing money off not reaching out to them because you have no way, you don't have a sales team. 4, your review strategy is not going to get you the exposure that you deserve, like the competition. And then the last part is the missed calls. Like if you miss a call, that's like missing $5,000 potential. So now I've opened a gap pretty big that my $297 per month system that solves all of those 3 things without spending a dime on marketing could turn into $50,000 fairly quick. And then if you compound that into the future and you compound it into the past, if they had it a year ago, I mean, that could be $500,000.
Okay. So, see, the way you pitch GHL is mind blowing. So, do I need to get started with the GHL also along with the SEO? I mean, is that a good way? Why? Because they are offering free trial, right? So,
Yeah,
this
I mean, try both. Try both. I mean,
okay,
that's just the way in the startup stage you have to test as many things as quickly as possible. So
okay,
like if I started off a pitch to a contractor or a remodeler with SEO, like first I'd have to ask some questions. I don't want to present SEO just yet. I want to first understand, like, is it a motivation of theirs? So I just have to ask a few questions saying, hey, I noticed that like right now there's a bunch of people above us. Like I know that you're not ranking on the top 3, so it's not getting the visibility that you could have. Is that something intentional, or is it something that you just haven't paid much attention to.
Got it. Means qualify the clients before we pitch.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And if they're not in tune with it, then I would just maybe saying like, hey, would you be interested if I had a way where you can generate a bunch of leads and cash flow without having to spend money on any advertising? We just utilize what you've already built in your career and your life and just leverage the database you already have and turn those into new customers or upgraded customers.
Got it. Makes sense. So
yeah, and like when I started the pitch, when I started like how I pitched the GHL with you, I went straight to missed call text backs.
okay.
You can always start at database reactivations, like some question like, hey, like do you have like a database of people who have reached out to you, whether they're leads or even customers that have come through the door? Yes. Okay, cool. Like when was the last time you sent them like all a text message, just allowing them that they can upgrade if they're already a customer, or if they haven't become a customer yet, that hey, that you have a promotion or you want to get them in the door to be able to have that conversation again?
Okay.
9 out of 10 people, maybe even like, I don't know, 90 out of 100 even, will probably say never. They haven't done it. And then you go back into the lifetime value of a customer presentation. So I start off with one of those two things. Is I'm trying to find the easiest path to showing them top line revenue, so that when they get a customer, this whole system will pay for itself in one customer, and anything on top of it is just pure profit.
Got it.
Yeah, because if I went in and like, even if I got an inbound lead, like somebody came to me and said, hey, I want you to run my marketing, and I went through my pitch and everything, all that stuff, they're probably going to be like, oh, let me think about it. It's a little more than I thought. I still have 4 more calls I have to make. There are going to be those objections. But when I'm coming at the angle of software as a service and SaaS, like the way I presented here, it almost eliminates all competition, because they've probably never heard this presentation before, number one, and they've never heard a marketing company say, your marketing will never work if you don't have this stuff set up. Like imagine building a house and you started on the 2nd floor. You can't do it. It'll collapse, right? That's kind of how marketing works. Once we build the foundation, then regardless of the marketing, you'll be able to monetize it.
Okay. Okay. So it makes sense the way you pitch GHL power and qualify the clients who are short question. Do we get any pitch decks as part of GST program like this, so that we can change to our niche and offers, or we need to prepare on our own?
Like I'll have a pitch deck. Like I have one that I used for a training where I was training people. My intention was to train marketers with it, but some people are using my pitch deck and customizing it to pitch their own client. But yeah, we'll make a pitch deck. I already wrote a blog. I haven't published it. I'll give you that, because that will be pretty much a pitch deck anyways. The thing about pitch decks is that I personally don't use them, because I'm only selling $297 what I'm selling it. Sometimes I priced it at $497. I just kind of play with pricing based on who I'm talking to, and how far I can push it, because then I can always drop the price if I ever needed to. But I don't use a deck, because I use an interactive tool. Like I have them fill in a form, and then they get automatic text, phone calls, and emails in a matter of 5 minutes while I'm actually on the call or standing in front of their face.
Got it. So it's like you make them to fill out a survey form where you ask all these questions. Once they fill out a form, you will directly call them or have a session with them to ask questions directly, interactive questions. So that's the way you pitch.
Almost. So if I was meeting with you, whether it's on Zoom or in person, I would give them the link and saying, hey, let me show you while we're talking through this, and I'll explain what it is, an interactive demo. Now, all you have to do is fill in this short form for me, and then I'll walk you through and explain it.
Cool. Can I see that
Yeah.
sample interactive demo if I can, if that is okay?
Yeah. If you go to here, I'll just type it in the chat really quick. fumonster.com. So that's the website, fumonster.com. It stands for Follow Up Monster. And then when you click on demo, it's only set up for US and Canadian phone numbers. So if you have a US based number like a Twilio or something like that, then enter that. If you do the +91 or 92 or whatever, it's not going to work. But you can see there's like, yeah, if you scroll to the bottom of the homepage before you hit demo on that website, there's 2 videos. The second video is a video, kind of just a little teaser video showing the power of the software.
Yeah, which is on the mobile version.
Yeah. If like after this call, if you open it up, turn the volume on, it has like just music on it. There's no voiceover. It'll just play a 45-second video that showcases it.
Got it. Short form video and the full video, which is 13 minutes. Oh, cool.
Yeah, that video is quite old too, and that's the same video. Like Go High Level has changed the interface, added different features. So I still use that same exact video because, quite frankly, not too many people end up watching it. It's just there, just so they hear my voice, watch a few minutes of it, stop it, and then are like, shit, I need this or I don't need it. They'll make a decision from there.
Okay, got it. Okay, fine. So in GST program, there is a gift to GST program. There is saying that $1 lakh something, $1 million gift. So that is a snapshot, I believe, that consists all this. The ones you say, am I right?
Say that again.
In GSD program, a training program, there is a section called our gift to GSD people. I mean, in that there is a snapshot download link.
Yeah. There's an agency snapshot inside of there, yeah, that you can just click and import into your own GHL account. Like, do you already have a GHL account?
No, I am yet to take one.
Okay, if you here use this link because you're gonna need one. I'm gonna give you a 30-day free trial. Go to this, and then when you sign up under this, it'll give you an extra instead of 14 days, which GHL offers. Like I have a partnership with them where they give us a 30-day extended trial, and then you can always downgrade to any level plan you want. So there's a $97 plan, a $297, and a $497. And there'll probably be a discount when you do sign up on top of everything. So if you could just use joinghl.com, you'll see a picture of me on that page with GHL logo, and then yeah, you can just sign up for a 30-day trial on that link.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, because you'll need to have GHL already. And then then it's just a matter of like like the way I look at like certain expenses, like business stuff, like coaching is one that I don't count as an expense. It's just supposed to make money. Like if you listen back to the recording, how I present it, and you can replicate it in your own way, you'll get more clients than you know. Then number 2 is once you have like you have to have the account, and then it's just a matter of once you pay. The 297 plan is probably the most appropriate plan for everybody that's an agency owner, because then you get unlimited sub accounts underneath it, meaning if you sell one person or 1,000, you don't pay more than 297. So it's like your overhead, just because like with SEO, like think about selling GMB SEO, like you'll have to sell it, you'll have to have a project manager behind it, and then you'll have to have the doers that do the work. And then if you're selling it at 500, your cost is going to be like 200-300, but then you have all this extra work to do.
Exactly.
With the way I've presented GHL is that it's almost like you don't need support.
Okay.
Because like what support could anybody possibly need other than